Hi, I'm Shiny for You Jesus, also known as Penn Jefferson on the Kindle, KDP, and CreateSpace.com websites where the Christian books are published. This is part 3 of the Faith versus Works series. We're wrapping up the end of work-centered ideology and transitioning into the faith-centered ideology. One of the most common rebuttals that one will see when folks maybe are impressing a works-based environment is the passage out of James chapter 2 verses 14 through 17 where it talks about faith without works being dead. Some would claim that if the works don't reflect an adherence and obedience and good stewardship to the kingdom, then the faith is invalid, that it's insincere, that their salvation is questioned, and that their identity is void. Unfortunately, this is not the case. This is not what that passage is saying. If you actually read the entire passage, take it in context, you can actually see that it's not talking about works impacting self, but it's talking about works impacting the kingdom. It's talking about works impacting the world and impacting others, impacting society. That's why it's talking about faith without works is dead. Why do you think he goes on to say, show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works? Well, it's because his works reflect the type of character of Christ. Therefore, it reflects that he has a sound and solid and well-grounded faith in Christ and in his belief system. Otherwise, he wouldn't be reflecting that through his works. However, again, I think it's been misinterpreted and misapplied, misappropriated to the extent of making believers feel like they're not sincere or they're not saved or they've somehow lost salvation if the works don't reflect obedience and stewardship. And I think there's a reason why this passage goes into talk about an action, a specific action. It talks about a person saying, hey, I hope you stay warm and be well fed, God bless, and goes on about their way. That's great that the person said that. However, it did nothing to help the situation. That's why it's talking about faith without works is dead. It's not talking about benefit to ourselves, but it's talking about benefit to others. It's talking about reflecting the mercy, the love, the generosity, the kindness, compassion of Christ. I mean, he sacrificed everything for all of us who deserved it the least. And unfortunately, we have gotten to an era in Christianity that we are again regressing into a legalistic mindset. The Pharisees in Jesus' day are a perfect example of a works-based faith system. They did a lot of great things for God. They prayed, they tithed, they fasted, they gave to the poor, they did their daily rituals. I mean, they're on point by the law, but their hearts were wrong. They didn't have the love, compassion, and mercy for people that were even more critical than obedience to the law. And Jesus constantly rebuked and reprimanded them for this ideology because he was trying to express that there's something more important. It's not that these things are bad, but that there's something better. He said that you strain at a gnat, but you swallow the camel whole. They're doing the hardest part on a daily basis to be obedient to the law, but they're neglecting the smallest and most critical, most foundational element, which is love and mercy and grace and peace. And that's what we've regressed into, is a Pharisaic state of legalism where we expect works to meet a certain status quo, or we judge and condemn a person as being insincere, as being invalid, as not being justified, as not being saved in the first place. And this is tragic because it's creating a wall between us and God, and it's creating a wall between them and God. In any event, this has been Shiny for You Jesus with part 3 of Faith versus Works. God bless you folks, and you have a wonderful day.